What is going on, guys? Joey Suggs here. Welcome to another video. Welcome back to the little winter cut series that I'm doing. And it's going to be a good video. We got to go to work today, so it's going to be a work video. And I'm going to cover everything that I'm doing right now during my work days to stay on track in this little mini series, this little mini cut. First things first, we got to get some energy. It's early. I think I have one more left deep in here and a little C4 Skittles to start the morning. In the car, got the energy drink. A little hectic to start the morning, but after a couple hours of work, it all starts to come together. So it is now almost 1 p.m. Actually, it's past 1 p.m. I had to run out and go to a couple job sites. I still have not eaten anything. So like I am at the point where I'm pretty freaking hungry now, ready for my first meal. I know in the last video I had, boiled eggs and cheese sticks. Been having that quite a bit, but if I'm not having that, typically have this. A pack of beef jerky. This is the Bridgeford. It's okay. It's still like nice and tender, but it's also pretty expensive for what it is. If you've ever seen beef jerky, this is what it is. Tastes pretty solid, and there's a decent amount of protein in this pack right here. And I normally like top it off, finish it off with a combo of a Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt. 80 calories in this thing with, I think, 12 grams of protein. So that's very solid. And then as a substitute for like actual granola, cereal. For me, it gives that same like contrast and consistency, that crunchiness in the soft yogurt. Roughly same amount of flavor and for way less calories, just like sprinkling a little bit over top. And the yogurt ends up being my little breakfast dessert. So definitely getting a little bit of a late start today and a little bit of intermediate fasting, which I do enjoy doing whenever I'm doing a cut. Just helps kind of offset my calories so I can eat a little bit more around my training time and I get hungrier at nighttime anyways. But still a pretty sizable first meal, right under 400 calories-ish, which is not bad at all. But with that, we had 46 grams of protein in this meal alone. That is very solid. So starting off the day just right, maybe a little late, but with the right food. Still doing pretty well from that meal. The time now, almost 4 p.m. Definitely need to get a little more calories in us, and I have just the thing. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Let me give you a little rundown of what's in the bowl here. The meat is actually the meat that I made in last week's video, or the last video. Absolutely phenomenal. This is the third time I've eaten it now, so this will be the last of it. But I'll definitely be making it again because that was so good. And then the rice, it's just one container of minute rice. I keep them here at the office, and it's literally a minute in the microwave, and you have a nice little carb source for yourself. So a pretty basic lunch, but it is going to be extremely filling, and it'll have some decent calories too, which is what I need this late in the day. Not having that many calories in me so far. Here's how we're looking, pretty solid. And even being heated up again and again, that meat is still so good. So for lunch, we have, like I said, a pretty healthy serving here. Total calories of the meal, 637. That's pretty solid and put us right at 1,000 calories for the day. That's nice. With that, right about 100 grams of protein. Not complaining about that at all. Typically, I'd like to have this meal around like 2:30 to 3, but with everything that's been happening, super busy. We just got to eat a little later in the day today. Definitely cannot stress enough how nice it is being able to make a bunch of at least meat one time throughout the week, and then you have that to bring for lunches the rest of the week. Super helpful, and it's definitely the way I like to have my like work lunches, is to at least have a really good idea of my protein source, and then I can toss in whatever veggies or carb source that I want, which is exactly what we did here, and it ended up being an ideal work lunch. All right, the best time of the day is finally here. It's 5 o'clock. We are done. We're ready to hit the gym. Quick change in the office. So last video, we did a little protein bar review. I found a seasonal bar I figured we'd try out. This is a 1 protein marshmallow hot cocoa, 210 calories, 20 grams of protein. That's a good like benchmark for a bar. Nice chocolatey finish, a little thin to be honest, but it smells decent. Let's give it a bite. Yeah, I get what they're going for here. It's still a little basic, in my opinion, like a little bland, nothing special, nothing like jumping out. It has little pieces of either white chocolate or marshmallow, I can't really tell. But all around, I think it's decent. I wouldn't say it's great. I probably wouldn't eat one again. But for a little seasonal bar, actually, it doesn't even taste seasonal. It just tastes like a chocolate protein bar with like a little bit of white chocolate or maybe a marshmallow. That's all right though. With that in, a little over 1,200 calories. And now we are well over 100 calories, sitting at 113. That's ideal to go to the gym with, which is where we are headed. All right, we are stuck in some awesome traffic, so it's gonna be a good time to grab us some Transparent Labs Bulk Black. I'm just gonna do 1 scoop of this today, nothing else. And that's because today is a leg day. Gonna be relatively ass, but I have been splitting up my leg days. Here's this nice little scoop. In between like hamstrings and quads, I do a little bit of both in each, but trying to separate it that way, so I'm hitting legs twice a week now. So today is gonna be a hamstring focus day. Oh, so exciting. So that is that. I'm gonna start sipping on this and let's get in the gym and have ourselves a nice little leg day. All right, we've made it in a little bit of warm up, just about 15 minutes walking on the treadmill, a little bit of warm up dynamic stretching, just get loosened up, and check out who made it to the gym today. So I have a little workout partner for today. Although she is gonna be doing squats for the first movement, I'm gonna be doing RDLs. For me, I feel it better in my hamstrings. So that's the plan. I've already done 2 warm-ups, or 3 warm-up sets actually. And I'm gonna try and do 4 working sets. And I might go up in weight just a little more after my first set. Probably put on a belt too for some added stability and safety. I've always kind of had a weaker lower back, so I definitely don't want to injure anything on this little mini cut. All right, my lower back is in shambles after that. But the next exercise is gonna be a hamstring curl on a little different machine. It's different, but I enjoy it. It's like a standing hamstring leg curl, single leg at a time too, which is pretty nice, I guess. Really focusing more on just getting like a really good pump, getting a lot of blood into the hamstrings here. More of an accessory movement, but a very good accessory movement. Going for a 10 to 12 reps, probably only gonna do 3 sets here. All right, leg extensions done. Perry, what's your favorite hamstring movement?
Well, actually it's a glute bridge, not a hip thrust.
All right, so that means we're gonna do glute bridges / hip thrusts next. I'll probably keep the weight pretty light here and do like 10 to 15 reps. At least 3 sets. If it feels amazing, maybe 4. Then I'm actually gonna superset this with a calf movement. Don't know what to call it, but I actually really like this machine for multiple things, like good mornings, as a hack squat, as a calf movement like I'm doing right now. The resistance path is really light, so you have to load the machine quite a bit to feel it. But it is really smooth and really good. Pretty much trying to go to failure with pretty good form and getting a good squeeze at the end of each rep. And that'll be a pretty gnarly superset right there. All right, we are done finally, people. I just finished up with a little under 20 minutes on the Stairmaster. It was like 18 minutes. 2 hours in the gym. Definitely takes a little longer, one, when you're working out with somebody, someone who likes to talk a lot in the gym. And when you're filming, it takes a little more time as well. Little physique update. Well, I don't think there's that much of a difference, honestly. Maybe starting to tighten up a little bit. But referring back to the weight this morning. So I think I weighed 220 in the last video, and this morning we weighed 218. And I can see that. By the way, I have to take a very large appointment when I get home, so that's possibly making me look a little bigger than I should be. All around, the days have been pretty solid. I did go out to dinner for a business thing, I think 2 nights ago, and got a bison steak for the first time. Actually, a really good steak. It was like a New York strip of bison. Very solid. But other than that, the eating habits have been pretty regulated and pretty good throughout the week. The last video was filmed only about 3 days ago from now, so I have come down a little bit from then, and that's pretty awesome. Not too much to look at overall, but I think we are coming down just a little bit. By the way, if you like the oversized stretchy tee and the paisley dark shorts, all by TLF, link down below for them if you want to check it out. But for a couple's leg day, pretty solid workout overall. All right, now I need to shower and like get settled for the night, but there's one thing I want to make for dinner that's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to do that first. All right, so we got 2 sweet potatoes. I'm going to chop them up. So here's how that looks, like 1-inch cubes pretty much. All right, I have a baking pan here. I'm gonna salt and pepper the bottom of the pan, then put all the sweet potatoes on there, then hit it with another layer of spray. And then you already know what's coming next. Gonna hit it with the Kinder's, the blend seasoning for the top side. And this is gonna go in the oven at 350 for right now. Might bump it up a little later, for about 30 minutes or so. All right, shower and obviously a good old shave. Feel like a new human being. Sadly for me, the chopping doesn't stop with the sweet potatoes. I wanna make Brussels sprouts in the air fryer. Been a long time since I made them, but it's a really solid recipe. The process for the chop is simple. You take the end off and then cut it in half and repeat the process a million times. All right, all chopped up. Things are about to get serious. We're gonna use some Mike's Hot Honey. If you haven't ever used this stuff before, you gotta get some and try it out because it is delicious. So I'm gonna do a drizzle of this and then making another comeback, the Kinder's Wood Fire Garlic, one of my favorite seasonings of all time. Good coating of this, and then I'm gonna toss it around with my hands, make sure it's all evenly coated together. All right, and my hands are pretty sticky, but that looks perfect right there. Now these can go into the air fryer and I'm gonna cook them at 380 for 20 minutes, but I'm gonna check them a little before that or like halfway through because it might not take all that long. And a little over 30 minutes and we have our sweet potatoes done out of the oven. Holy shit, it's burning my hand. Oh my God, ow. We got 5 minutes remaining, so this has been in here for 15, and I think that turned out perfectly to get a good crisp on the Brussels sprouts. The last piece of the puzzle, we gotta fry up one of these right here. Just kidding. We're going to make some shrimp on the pan. Put that in there. And one of my favorite seasonings for shrimp is the chili lime sauce from Trader Joe's. So I'm gonna put a healthy serving of this over top and let that cook up in the pan. And as the steam slowly goes away, we can tell these cooked up absolutely perfectly. All put together, here is our beautiful angel of a plate that we're having for dinner tonight. All right, I've already eaten like 5 or 6 of the shrimp that fell off while I was trying to get a thumbnail, but this right here is one hell of a dinner. I'm not sure what I want to try first. I already tried the shrimp, so I guess we'll talk about it real quick. So the water from the shrimp and the seasoning made it almost into like a little sauce, and it is delicious. Cooked perfectly too, and that seasoning has like just the right amount of like sweet tang, almost like a tahini. Like if you've ever had like a tahini rim on a margarita or something, it kind of tastes like that. Which is very tasty. Sweet potatoes ended up pretty perfect. They have a little bit of browning on the bottom. Wouldn't say they're like crispy, but they're a good in between of like a harder outside and like a very soft inside. The seasoning on there goes very well with it. And for me, I love the consistency of like a good cooked sweet potato. It's one of my favorite flavors and consistency for a carb source. It's pretty ideal. And then we get to the hot honey beast of the night. So I've already smelled this, and just from licking my fingers, I can tell it's gonna be insane. Oh yeah. So if you've never had hot honey, that is a must try by itself. But when you put them on Brussels sprouts and you cook them with the Brussels sprouts, as the Brussels sprouts cook, they kind of, I guess, expand and get soft on the inside a little bit, and that inside absorbs the sweetness and the heat. It is so good. The little bit of wood fire garlic over top adds a little bit of like a salty kick to it. It's an all-around incredible vegetable source. And Brussels sprouts done in the air fryer gets the crispy edges around it. Oh, it's tough to beat. It really is tough to beat. I used to make this all the time, and I kind of stopped a little bit, but I'm back on the gravy train, baby. All right, now we come full circle, a bite of all 3. Now that is a threesome made in heaven. Great combo for dinner tonight. So calories total for the meal around 650. That's really good for how much volume's in this meal. And everything's pretty exact in here, but I think I overestimated a little bit on the hot honey just to make sure I got the calories in there for that. Total is under 1900 for the day, very solid there. And we're sitting very good on carbs. And we need to get a little more protein in, but we have plenty of calories to do so. As long as we're staying under 2,500, I'm really good with that. And we definitely have plenty of room to work with to hit the rest of the protein for tonight. So a slightly odd threesome for dinner tonight, but I couldn't ask for anything more. All right, cleanup finally done from dinner. It's approaching 10:30. If I wasn't filming, I would not promise you that I would eat anything else tonight. But let's finish off our calories right. And I have the thing that I've been having mostly for breakfast recently, but it is like a sweet treat. So I'm gonna have it for dessert tonight. And that is these things right here, the Thomas Cinnamon Raisin English Muffins. Whew, they are delicious. 150 calories isn't bad for an English muffin either. So we'll toss this in the toaster oven, or toaster actually. And to finish off our calories, I could go with like a transparent labs protein shake, but these have been sitting in the fridge for a while. So 42 grams of protein straight to the dome. That's not bad at all right there. Then straight out of the toaster, gonna hit it with some Can't Believe It's Not Butter Light. I'll probably get a lot of shit for this stuff, but I think it tastes good and it's super easy to spray on things. Next, just a sprinkle of cinnamon sugar. And you have yourself a delightful looking cinnamon raisin English muffin dessert. Yeah, that can be a breakfast, a dessert, a midday snack. These things are really good for 150 calories. All right, and with this in now, we are sitting at 430 calories for the meal, 2,310 calories for the day, and an absolutely ideal amount of protein at 211 grams. That is how we do it, people. That is how we do a full day of work. Get done at 10:30 and repeat the whole process over again tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the full day of eating. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, become a subscriber. And with that, I'll see you very shortly in the next one. Peace.
This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands up. Yeah.